Hey, hey, friends. How are you today? All right, so today I want to talk about where does self-confidence come from, right? Um, Before I do that, if you're watching me on the YouTubes, just go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like this video and hit the little bell so you're notified anytime new videos come on. If you are not on YouTube, make sure you head over to YouTube and do that so that you get notified when new videos come on and so that you can come say, hey, to me. All right. All right. So, my name is Brittany, and I am basically help teach moms how to empower themselves to change the trajectory of their lives, right? Take a new path and really kind of take control in the reins of their lives. And so I want to talk about where self confidence comes from because it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people when we see like what they're doing, how they show up on social media and things like that in the world. And we get that, like, you look at somebody else and you're like, man, they are so confident in what they're doing. Like, they just exude that, right? And a lot of times we take their confidence in their area and we put that onto ourselves in like almost like a negative, well, I can't do that. I'm not confident, right? Um, and so that's what I want to talk about of like where self-confidence actually comes from so that we can identify um, where other people are at in their self-confidence journey, but also so that we can find root in being more confident ourselves, right? Because when we're able to feel more confident, we're going to take more action, we're going to take more positive risks, and which is a circle because then that builds up our confidence, right? So let's talk about where it comes from. Okay. The first place it comes from is in areas of our strength, right? In areas where we're already feeling pretty good about what we do, right? And so what happens is you just tweak it, refine it, you grow, you learn a little bit, and you gain more confidence, right? But the thing about that is oftentimes we expect to be confident in all areas of life, right? Or when we see people who are very confident in one area, then we automatically turn ourselves into like we just get hard on ourselves, right? Um, and so I think being able to recognize that, right? Um, because I am very confident in showing up in front of people, right? Like I was a teacher for 6 years. I got in front of kids. Like I did public speaking courses and things like that in college and that was a natural strength. I learned and I've grown and I've taken steps to even refine that skill. But some people might be like, "Oh, man, she's so confident. Like I can't even go live or speak in front of people because I just don't have the confidence that they have, right?" But if you ask me to do anything around my house or any type of like construction project or building something, forget about it, right? Like my sister, like she has a knack for that stuff. She, you know, you want to build something, she can build it for you, right? And my husband's that way too. And then, they'll explain things to me like, well, you just do this and then you put this here and then you do this and that. And I'm just like, right. So I know that if someone were to ask me to build something, right, like out of wood, I'm not going to be very confident, right? Or if you ask me to um, play in a basketball game or soccer or anything like that, I'm not going to be very confident, right? So self confidence comes from doing things that you kind of are already good at, right? And then you refine them and you learn. But that's not the only way. That's what we go to first. But that's not the only way, right? So another way is I'm checking my notes here, is to really step out of our comfort zone. And this seems so counterintuitive because a lot of times what happens is we think that when I become more confident, then I will do the thing, right? When I become more confident speaking in front of people, then I will speak in front of people, right? When I become more confident cooking dinner for other people, then I'll invite people over to my house to cook for them, right? When I become more confident in doing my job, then I will ask for the promotion, right? But in actuality, it's getting out of our comfort zone that's going to build the confidence, right? It's like when you start a new job and like the first day of work or like even before, like the day before you start the job, right? You're super nervous. You're like, okay, am I going to be able to do this? Even if it's something that you have experience in, right? But it's the new, right? And so you're like, oh my gosh, okay, new day of work. Am I going to mess up? Am I going to do a good job? Even though I'm in training, that's what I'm there for. Like, what happens if I don't know what to do, right? What happens if I don't know what to do? And yet we're in training and people are like, yeah, I expect you to not know what to do, right? But then what happens is you're so nervous and all of these feelings and you usually don't have self-confidence, right? Or at least not as much as you normally would. But then like 2 weeks into the job, you're like, oh, I got this, right? And it just becomes another thing, right? You're like, oh, 2 weeks in, you're like, yeah, I know exactly what to do. I can solve that problem, right? So that's one area where self-confidence comes from, right? Being able to step out of our comfort zone, being willing to like take the next step and do. So this is kind of the third one is do it so much that you get better at it. And as you get better at something, your confidence is going to increase, right? So when something becomes, so doing something so often that it becomes routine or habit, right? If you do something so much, you're going to become more confident in it because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn from those mistakes and you're just going to get better, right? By doing it day after day after day, right? I'm not a great cook or chef or anything like that, but like I have a few dishes that I can make that I'm pretty confident in because I cook every single night, right? You tell me to wash the dishes, I'm going to bust that out because I'm great at washing dishes because I do it every single day. It's a habit, it's a routine, right? So just think about that. Like when you see somebody looking confident or when you're feeling like you're not confident in an area, ask yourself, why is that? Right? Is it just you haven't had enough practice? Is it you just haven't tried, right? To learn and to get practice? Or is it one of those things where you're like, it's not really my zone of genius, right? Which is like the zone of things that we're really, really great at, right? That come naturally to us. And then evaluate like, is this something I want to grow and learn and get better at? Or is this something where it's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with not being confident in that area. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, I don't play sports. I'm not confident if you ask me to play in any game of sport. But do I care? Nope, not one bit. Right. But other areas, I'm like, yeah, I would like to learn and to practice and to have more confidence in that area. Right. So that's it, you guys. That's where self confidence comes from. It comes from playing on your strengths, stepping out of your comfort zone, and like stepping out of your comfort zone more and more and more to the point where something becomes a routine and habit. Right. That's where it comes from. That's what you have to do. Right. And yeah, there's also other things that you can do to boost that confidence in the meantime, right? As you're learning and as you're growing. If you guys want to learn about some of those things, feel free to hop into my Facebook community. I'm pointing the wrong way. On Instagram, you can't even see it. It's there. It'll be in the comments. Hop in my Facebook group. We chat about this stuff. We do trainings on like just feeling better about ourselves, right? Because when we can gain confidence and we can do the things and we can step out of our comfort zone, then we can upgrade our lives, right? Then we can take the other path, right? The road less traveled, right? For all my poets out there. All right. So feel free to hop in that. If not, no big deal, but you're missing out. Just saying. All right. And I will talk to you guys next time. You have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.